I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about how we use some RPO stuff with our empty sets. Basic philosophy is that if you have a running quarterback, it's like playing with 12. If you have one camera, it's like playing with 10. But that's sort of the way it works. If anybody needs to or would like to get a hold of me, feel free. My email address is rick.jones@greenwoodk12.com. I've got my Twitter and Instagram up there as well. If there's anything that you just sort of stands out, you have a question, let me know. We try, I'm going to go through this stuff fast. I think you need to at least have a feel. We're in a town of about 10,000. We had a really good football team. We had a really good football team this year. And the thing that made it sort of special is that we didn't sign anybody. In fact, I was telling some of my friends, I didn't know what a preferred walk-on was until this year. We had a kid that is going to be a preferred walk-on at the University of Arkansas, and I asked people, what's a preferred walk-on? And then it occurred to me that in 1973, when I graduated from high school, I was probably the world's first preferred walk-on. I didn't know that at the time. I told these two guys this morning about this. I called up my coach at Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas, and said, I'm going to walk on at Harding. And he said, well, Rick, we'd prefer that you don't. But if you're dead set on it, come on up and we'll let you do it. But we have had, now here's the secret. We've had 6 Division I quarterbacks in 15 years. We're a town of 10,000. We're in 6A. We're the smallest school in 6A, but it has been really, really a lucky thing to get the quarterbacks that we've had. To say that these are the key to our success sounds somewhat presumptuous. It makes me feel a little bit weird to say it, but we think we do a good job game planning. We think we do a good job with our RPOs, and we think we do a good job getting the ball in perimeter. I will tell you this. We train our wide receivers like they were offensive linemen. It's thumbs up, elbows in, you got to move your feet. I'm an old offensive line coach. And it is important that those guys are willing to block. And that's the thing about that. We come in, I've talked about, I've seen people that do different things. We bring our kids in on Sunday. Our coaches meet on Saturday and Sunday. And here's the deal about that. How many guys meet with their kids on the weekend? Okay. Everybody has their own philosophy about that, and I get that. But it is, here's my thought process on it. I don't want to come in on Monday and have to take care of last week's game. Because on Monday to us, we're ready to roll. We're ready to get ready for the next week's game. And I think that's just the way we do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, that's just the way we do it. What we did for years, for 21, 22 years as a head coach, we bring our kids in on Saturday morning. Depending on what was going on, they'd come in sometime between 8, 9, maybe if we were at a long trip, we might come in at 10 o'clock or something like that, because I figure there's about 2 hours of work we need to do on the weekends with the kids. We need to watch film, we need to watch special teams film, we need to lift weights, we need to check on injuries and stuff like that. I had a kid come up to me and he said, well, Coach, I sure wish I could sleep late. Well, just one day a week. And this is after I've coached for 30-something years. And he said, I said, what do you mean you want to sleep late? Because to me, if you get to sleep till 9, that's pretty good. But he said, well, we come up here on Saturday morning, we go to church on Sunday morning, and I just don't get to sleep late any day. And I started thinking. And in the town of Greenwood, you have to understand, it's sort of like Mayberry. It's a little bit like Mayberry. It's sort of an old-fashioned, traditional little town in western Arkansas. And so I I just thought about it, and I called up all the youth ministers at the churches, at every church in Greenwood. I said, what are you doing between 2 and 4 on Sunday? And they said, to a man, every single one of them said, we do not do anything between 2 and 4 on Sunday. So we started having our Sunday meeting with the boys from 2 to 4. And it's been one of the best things we do. We bring them in, show them film, or show them highlights of the film, and we do the kicking game film as well. We lift weights, and it has been a very, very good thing for us. Some people do it on Sunday, some people can't. I know how that works. But what we do on Sunday, on Saturday, the coaches come in, we do the stats, we do the film work from the previous game. We don't grade anymore. I don't know how it is with you, but our right guard's about the best right guard we have. And he can grade out 23%, but he's still better than the other right guard. And I'm not sure how efficient a use of the time is. I'm not against it. I'm just saying what we do is we do progress reports. And on Sunday, we have a progress report from every position coach. And that's sort of the way that we approach that. But we watch film. We fill the play sheet out on Sunday. Our game plan for the next Friday's game is done on Sunday before we go home. I've got some pictures of it. You can look at it. I stole it from Gus Malzahn. Please don't tell Gus. He's very secretive about stuff like that. But I stole our play sheet from Gus, and we fill it out on Sunday, and that's what we use throughout the week when we script practice. So that now we'll adjust it, but for the most part, we're going to have it filled out on Sunday before we go. We always script first 10, first 12, or first 15 plays. I'm rereading Bill Walsh's book as I'm flying back and forth from Arkansas. And you know, he's sort of the one that made that famous. But when I was a head coach, 30 years old, at the third biggest school in Oklahoma, I wanted to get a little bit of sleep on Thursday. The only way I could get a little bit of sleep on Thursday was to do my script on Wednesday. And know that if I did not just pass out and faint, I could at least get a play call. When it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6, and game on line. But all of you guys understand that. It's not a big secret. We'll go 10, 12, 15 plays, sort of depends on the opponent. And everything that we've done is based upon where we are on the hash. And the reason for that is that we want to be able to call plays as fast as possible. And so that's left, middle, right hash. You understand that? We break it up 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, 5 and 6, and then we have 7 through 10 and 11 plus. And we fill that out. Here's the bottom of it. We fill that out on Sunday. And when we do third and mediums, our offensive coordinator just takes the sheet out there when we're practicing, and he's calling third and 6 plays from the certain hash. We always move the ball, and I know that probably everybody else does exactly the same thing, but I think it's important that we have a structure for how we prepare what we're going to do. What we're going to talk about are quarterback RPOs, obviously out of the empty formation, but it's how do you get to that? How do you get to the point where you're ready to do that? Quarterback RPOs. Now, this is a little bit of what we do training our quarterbacks. Like I said, we've been extremely lucky. 6 Division I quarterbacks in a little town of 10,000. It has been amazing to be that lucky. But we try to do the best we can to train them. We have passing camp every January. Darren Slack, QBA, they come into Greenwood, Arkansas, and they do quarterback and receiver school. I love Darren Slack. Dub Maddox, some of you guys are familiar with Dub. I hired Dub out of college when we were at Broken Arrow. But it gives our kids exposure to some other guys other than just me when we're talking about quarterback play. In the summer, We have a what we call Fast Dogs program, where we run about 550, 575 3rd through 12th graders through a training and conditioning program. And it's a great program, but during that time we take our 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and so forth. We take the best. I don't say this to, well, I don't say it to the parents, cut this part, the 12 best. We take the 12 best quarterbacks in that town, regardless of their age, and I try to have 2 5th graders, 2 6th graders, 2 7th graders, 2 8th, as we go up. And I'll take the best 12, best 14, something like that, and we work out an hour a day on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays during the summer, during that 4-week period of what we call Fast Dogs. And we do quarterback fundamentals. I mean, we do quarterback fundamentals. We get them on video. We watch the video. We try to correct the mechanics and things like that. And I think it's a big part of it. As far as I coach quarterbacks at Greenwood High School, as far as it works for us at the high school level, we have film before school, we have film before practice, and we have film after practice. They spend about an hour and 20 minutes of their day with me. And I'm not saying that's good, they would probably say that's bad. But I think to do what we do, you have to have an understanding, and we got to be able to trust our guys. Because basically, here's what we're doing. We go out there in the state championship game, we're going to line up in trips to the boundary, doubles to the field. We can throw hitch screen to the boundary, we can throw a call route to the field, or the quarterback can run. If he sees blitz, he's got to make one word check, and we got to check the route. And we got to check the protection. And that all has to happen in about a 4-second period. So it takes some time, and it takes some film work to get used to getting that kind of stuff done. And I think it's important. We script offensive plays. Now this is, we do not script the defense. What we do on our offense, when we are practicing offense, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we do not script the defense. We give the defense a book of cards, and they are divided out by those situations that we already talked about on the play sheet. We have a few cards for 3rd and 1 and 2, 3rd and 4th and 3rd and 2, 3 and 4, 4 and 6, 5 and 6, 7 and 10, 11 plus. So we have these cards, these defenses drawn in the book, so that our defensive coaches who run team defense, when we're on team offense, they run the scout team. It's 3rd and 4. We got a 4-minute period at 3rd and 4s. They're going to show the 3rd and 4 defense. And we've drawn the cards, put them in the book, given those to the defensive coaches, and we have 2 books and we're running 2 defenses out. But here's another thing. They will run that defense twice. So whatever we are on the play sheet, we call that play. They see the defense. Our offensive coordinator has a chance to call what he considers to be his best play against that look. Does that make sense for you? You understand that? Make any sense? That way, our offensive coordinator, and I called plays for 12 years or so there at Greenwood. What I like to do is go out there and practice calling plays like it's in a game. It's 3rd and 6. We have a list of plays we like on 3rd and 6. We're on the right hash. They send a defense. I don't know what the defense is, but I do know it's one of those that they put in the book in the 5 to 6 section. And I see the defense. We run the play, and then I'm going to call the best play I have on my sheet or I can think of against that defense. So that you actually have, you guys, how many people call plays here? Okay. You actually get to practice during practice calling plays in the game. And I think that's been important. We want the easiest 5 yards. In everything we talk about, we want the easiest 5 yards. And to be honest, I'm not greedy. We'll take the easiest 4 yards. Whatever that is. If it's throwing hitch screens, boundary, if it's throwing a called set to the field, if it's the quarterback running for 4, we tell the quarterback, we want the easiest 5 yards. On any of the throws, we want the shortest, safest throw. We turned the ball over 8 times in 13 games this year. Our quarterback threw 24 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now I think that's pretty good. And he's pretty special when it gets to that. We're looking for numbers. We're trying to find where we have an numerical advantage. Formation, motion, shifts, and things like that. Here's the deal. How many of you guys play fast? That's not very many. Okay. We have the intention of snapping the ball as many times as humanly possible. 2 years ago, we opened the season with Fort Smith Northside, and we snapped it 95 times. And a week later, we played our second game against Fort Smith Southside and snapped it 106 times. So that's the most we've ever hit. But part of that has to do with our lack of explosiveness. But that's another story altogether. We're running a lot of plays, but we have to run a lot of plays because we're not getting very far each play. But I mean, 106 snaps in a high school game, and that's pretty good. Or you could say, gosh, Coach, that's a lot of short runs and incomplete passes. You can say whatever you want. You can put whatever slant on it you want. But we are always looking for the advantage. And when you change personnel groups, you slow down. When you go in motion, you slow down. When you shift from one to another, you slow down. And we try to weigh that out to determine whether that's to our advantage or our disadvantage. And I think that's part of it. We're looking for leverage. We're looking for leverage. If we put 3 guys to the field and you only put 2 in what we consider from, we call it 7 yards. The line's about 7 yards. If you don't put but 2 out there, then we have a numerical advantage. If you put a guy inside, we have leverage on a guy that might be lined up outside. And we're going to look for matchups in our best matchup that we can. And it is, it looks easy, but I think it takes time. How many heard, you guys are primarily offense people, how many heard Jeremy Pruitt yesterday? I got a lot of work to do. I don't know about you. I know one thing, we got to get that stubby and that, we either got to get it outlawed or we got to learn about it and figure out how to attack it. Because I figure out, and I mean, I hear the terminology all the time. I get an idea, you know, I'm looking up there and I'm saying, oh, they're in quarters, you know, oh, they're in quarters. And then I listened to that speech yesterday and I said, well, we got a lot of work to do. Because there's a lot of different things that they're doing and doing a good job. Okay, quarterback into the RPO. We're asking ourselves, we're going to line up, the first one that you see is quarterback draw. Now, we have 4 basic runs that we will tag with the RPO. We have quarterback draw, quarterback base, counter, and dart. Just the old-fashioned dart. And we can do it a lot of different, like I say, we can do it those 4 ways, but the basic idea is we're going to put 3 receivers to one side, 2 receivers to the other, or we're going to go 4 by 1. Sometimes we put the trips into the boundary, doubles to the field. General rule of thumb on our basic RPO is that we're going to have double to the field, hit screen the boundary. That's the basic rule. Now the other thing that we do is we will call a quick game route. And when I say, somebody said it yesterday, I thought it was so interesting, but in the stick and the stab, I mean, the father of the stick and stab was here yesterday, if you guys got to listen to Noel Mazzoni. I mean, it was cool to have him there, but we'll run stick and stab to one side, and then we'll check a route to the other side. For the RPO stuff, we try to have a concept route to one side and some type of screen away from it. Or we can go screen. Does that make sense? I hope I'm explaining that well. I see some puzzled looks. Basically, we go up there, we line up there, trips right, doubles left. We can run stick concept to the trip side, and we'll run hitch screen concept, or now screen. Some guys might call it now screen to the boundary. So the quarterback goes up there, and he's got to take it if you like it. Side. He's got to take, he'll go up there, and if he likes the side, he can just take the snap, throw it out there, and not worry about it. The thing that makes the quarterback RPO a little bit different is you're not in that rush to mesh, obviously. Because sometimes you sit there and you mesh through and it's too late. And it makes it clean. And that's what we like about this. I'm hoping the video works well because it really sort of explains a lot of it. Do we have leverage to doubles? If they're trying to cheat the guy in the box. I mean, it boils down to that. I heard the coach, I don't think he's in here, from Vermont. And he talks about 5 things why RPOs suck. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Anybody who's ever done it knows exactly what's going on with that. What we're trying to do is handle a little bit of that. And I'm not saying we have all the answers, because we sure don't have all the answers. But we're trying to say, do we have numbers of trips? They put 2 guys to our 3. I'm not even good at math. 3 bigger than 2. I do know that. I do know that. I told somebody I made 24 on the ACT. I heard somebody say, hey, I made 24 on the ACT. I said, I did too. I took it 3 times. 8 was 8 was 8. It's 24. So I have guys tell me that stuff. And I say, hey, those ACT grades are all inflated. They're all inflated anyway. Back when I took, that doesn't matter. You guys will make your own assumptions. Do we have leverage to doubles? And this is what I like about this little easy stuff. We're taking the easiest 5 yards. We're going to go up there, trips the field, double the boundary. We run hit screen boundary. If they're not off, if they're not up there in our grip, we're going to just take the ball and throw it out there. Now, if we're going to read it, then we'll do what we call, we'll just step back right there, and we're going to look at that number 6 defender. If he gets under the stick, then we're going to try to find the out route. And if we don't find that, then we're going to run for our life. Because there should only be 5 guys in the box. Okay, this is going to be exciting seeing this works, okay? Ideally, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is we're going to block quarterback draw. We're going to block quarterback draw. We're running stick to the field, and we're going to run hitch screen and boundary. Now, it may be, I don't want to get my hopes up. Here's the thing quarterback's looking at. We do not consider that covered up right there, because that guy's right on the 7-yard mark. He's right on the 7-yard mark right there. You could say that we have leverage out there, depending on where that guy is, whether we think that guy's going to be a role player or not. If the box is light, what we consider 5, then we're gonna run. Now here's the deal. When the guy starts apexing out, here's what I try to tell the quarterback. If that guy can make a play in our B gap backside, then he's in the box. Now that's just it's not a perfect rule, but it's the best rule that we have right now. And you can sort of get an idea how this looks. This is easy. He's decided he's not crazy about what we have going on up here. He's not crazy about that. There's only 2 guys here, so he's going to read the stick. He's going to read the stick as the first. We call that a wide departure hitch. What that means is he is going to try to get to the spot where he is most open. He's going to try to get to the spot where he is most open. And that's the thing. We got fade. That's out. We got fade right there. We're not messing with fade. We do not have a lot of guys that we feel are going to win the battle one-on-one. If they get up there, we've had guys like that. We just don't feel like these guys are one of them. We go stick, throw the stick. We're looking for 5 yards. And if I'm not really greedy at all, we'll go 4 if we can get 4. And we'll be happy to it. Try to get north and south as fast as you can and go. But the line, as you watch the line's blocking draw. They're blocking quarterback draw. They're going to set, and then we'll wrap to get an advantage. You see the right guard set, and when the back would blitz, he got on them. We got a fold call, our left tackle's gonna fold. Basically on this, the line sorts it out, how they're gonna block it. But the quarterback, if he doesn't like anything, then he's gonna be ready to go. This is a fade out to the boundary, not hit screen, we'll go fade out. Sometimes we'll do it different ways. We just have easy ways to do the basic package of what we're doing. Now, here's one of the things I find interesting. The first thing that I know, I'm going to ask you, Coach, if I hear him talk about RPOs, Coach, what do you do versus press man? What do you do versus press man? And since I don't know how far I'm going to get into this presentation, I'm going to give you an idea. We have a set of routes that we call our check routes. We have 8 check routes to the 2 receiver side. And the quarterback can get that route to those receivers very easily and very quickly. So I'm going to skip ahead of myself, because when you look out there and you say, what are they doing out there? A lot of the times we'll have the quarterback check the 2 receivers outside in trips, or he'll check the 2 receivers to the boundary. Does that make sense to you? The number 3 guy is a called route. We call the number 3 route, we check the 1 and 2 routes. I think there's 8 of them. We call Hawaii, which is hitches. We call Fresno, which is fade out. We've got in, we've got corner, we've got thumb, we've got, gotta change the name. We call it rub, it's legal though. It's legal. We got rub, and you can figure out what that one is. We like this one against cover 0, we like this against cover 1. And we practice it all the time. When we go routes on air, we're going to do check routes. We got in, we got pivot, we've got, I think there are 8 of them that are in the package. RPOs, we go up there, we got RPO, you come up, press, then we're going to check, and we're going to check a route. In the line, as long as there's a 5-man box, the line's not concerned, but now what they do is we have the quarterback, we have the tailback check the protection away from where he's lined up. Now, if they're threatening 4 to a side, we can make a rip or loop call and get the line where we need it to be. But it's got to happen fast. It's got to happen fast. He goes up there, he sees press man, he's going to say one word, he's going to say one word, the back's going to say one word, and we're going from there. And that's our answer. It may not be the answer you come up with, but I think you have to figure out what you want to do versus man. And what we do is we have one of those 8 check routes called. They just call. They signal one of those 8 routes. And we have certain routes we like against 1 press and against 0. And the other thing that we do is that when we will practice every day, Monday through Wednesday, 5 minutes on just man-to-man routes. And that's just us against scouts. We're going to practice 5 minutes every day. I think that's our Achilles heel, because our receivers don't outrun a lot of guys. And I think our Achilles heel is man, so we're going to practice 5 minutes every day just running our man-to-man routes with against the best secondary we can find. The same thing. Okay. Same deal. Trips to the field. We're running fade out to the boundary. That could be fade out. It could be hit screen, or what people call now screen. And we could bubble both sides, or bubble that side. We've got wide departure hitch. We throw the out. It is possible if he sits in there and he sees that the guy's running flat under, we're trying to read inside out on this. So he's reading stick to the out route right here. As long as he has it, that's his first read. Do not be greedy. Shortest, safest throw is what we're looking for. Shortest, safest throw. Now we got fade out to the boundary. The quarterback, like the leverage that we had there, they're up there in man-to-man, but they're not tight. And we like our matchup here. I'll tell you this, we cross-train our left slot receiver and our tailback, okay? Some of you might not want to do that, but we train our tailback as our fifth receiver. And we train our slot receiver as our second running back. Because when we want to go 20 personnel, I don't want to change personnel. Now, you might have a guy that just has brick hands, and there's just nothing you can do about it. And that's not the kind of guy he is. I understand that. But we try to cross-train those guys. We want to go as fast as we can. And we're going to try to keep it as simple as possible, but I think it's important that we can run our back out there. When we go to empty, we don't have to make any personnel changes. Because we like to line up in two back, shift to empty. A lot of people, we're primarily 10 personnel. A lot of defensive coordinators have several checks to empty. And you go out there and you line up in 20, shift to empty, snap something really fast. And this is something really good to snap fast because you're just taking what they give you. We'll line up in 20, shift to empty, snap the ball and go. Or we'll line up in empty, shift to 20, snap the ball and go. We'll do it both ways, and we like to do that because we have we've cross-trained those guys. If you like the leverage to the boundary, you'll see the outside backer blitz. Our quarterbacks, we try to teach them from the 5th grade up. We throw to blitz, run away. Throw to blitz, run away. Now that's not rocket science. That's not brain surgery. But you throw to blitz, run away. We try to teach them that at a very early age. He liked the leverage there. He did not like they were squeezed up on us to the field. He did like the leverage. He didn't like the box run either. It may be different. Guys easing up there. We got blitz coming. We like to throw to blitz, run away. Now, we can see what we have. This doesn't happen a lot, but we actually get to the second guy there. Just by the way they're lined up, we have a sense that they're going to have trouble. They're going to have trouble guarding this area of the field right there. If they cover the stick, they're going to have a hard time covering the out. And it's just a matter of taking what they give us. We got corner fire, boundary fire right there. If we see that, we're going to hopefully be able to get that what we call the T open up there up top. The line, theoretically, I say theoretically because they actually whiffed 2 guys. They are blocking quarterback draw. They are blocking quarterback draw. Okay, here we go. Same thing. There's only, just look, it's not hard. They don't have the numbers. They don't have the numbers. And the rule is throw to, blitz, run away. And we take the easiest 5 yards. We want the easiest 5 yards. And that's the thing that makes it so easy. We like this. We feel like this is sort of pressing the easy button as it goes. This is the last one. Now, our kid he's a really, really nice player. He signed to play baseball at ULL. But they light box it. We spread him out. When he sets, they spread out, and now he's ready to go. His thought process is my easiest 5 yards is just taking it and running it. Now, his easy 5 yards are a lot different than yours and my easy 5 yards. But you can see how spaced out they are with the guy on the stick and the guy on the fade out. He makes a pretty decent little move right there. Yeah. That guy is special. Okay. This is something that we watched A lot of people do it now, but the first one I ever saw do it was the Los Angeles Rams. And basically what we do is we have our receivers go block their defenders right now, right off the line of scrimmage, and we run our inside receiver exactly a half a yard behind the line of scrimmage, Billy. It's exactly half a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Some people think we teach those guys to run half a yard in front of the line of scrimmage. That's not true. We teach them to run half a yard behind the line of scrimmage. And this is one of the easiest, best plays out there. I hate to sell it too hard because this is easy stuff right here. Once again, we block the two most dangerous guys to the right or to the trip side, and we block the most dangerous men to the boundary side. We call a quarterback run. I think this one was our dart quarterback run. So we're running dart. Now the thing you got to change is your left guard. Your left guard has to block out because there's obviously no read guy on dart play. But against 5-man box or something similar, you have a chance. So we're going to run. We call it stab. We'll go stab to the right, stab to the left, and block the two most dangerous outside, and we're going to block the most dangerous to the backside. Same process. Numbers are leverage trips. Number are leverage to the double side. If you have a light box, if the easiest 5 yards is for the quarterback to run the ball, then run the ball. Man free, go the best matchup. Now, here's another little thing that we do easy. It's easy. You'll see us do it on this cut-up. We'll crack the closest wide receiver. So if he goes up there and he gets man-to-man, the quarterback says a word, and that means that our closest wide receiver is going to crack. And that's another little, you'll see it here on film. It's a good little adjustment. It's easy. He just makes a little signal. He makes a little signal, and that means that the inside wide receiver is going to get his guy blocked from the outside coming in. So that will help us get loose on the edge, hopefully. This is what we call stab. Line's going to block dart, just the old-fashioned dart. And then we're going to block the two guys outside are blocking. Here's another deal. Now, I think this is really good, and you may think by now you've made up your mind either way, so there's no reason for me to say it. We always block outside shoulder. Every single play. Our receivers block outside shoulder. I sort of stumbled on this when we put the offense in 2001 with Northwestern. We just copied Northwestern, exactly what they were doing. And when we started running this offense, it dawned on me, I've been flex bone, I formation, where you turn around and toss it that way, it goes that way. You call option to the left, it goes left. But in this offense, in the spread, zone read stuff, you don't know where the ball's going to be. And that has been better for us to teach our receivers, to teach our linemen downfield, any time you are in a position to block a defender, you always block his outside shoulder. We always block the outside shoulder. And we like I told you, we train them just like offensive linemen. They're thumbs up, elbows in, head back, and we're boom, 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 and keeping our inside, our inside leg on the crotch. We're always blocking their outside shoulder. If a guy has containment, if he gets 2 yards from the sideline, we will actually give them a plus if they can drive that guy legally into the secondary coach on the sideline. That's the only time they have permission to block inside out. But I think this has helped us so much. If you watch these guys, you'll sort of see. Now what's going to happen is we're going to go out with number 2 to the boundary and out with number 1 or number 3 to the field. They're running that little stab route, and he's just taking numbers tell him we got a hat on him and a hat on him. That's stealing money right there, right? And the free safety's going to chase him down. get smoked. You get that happened to Elgrade, Arkansas boys. If you ever go down there, they'll get you. Be careful now. They're a physical, well-coached football team. Here we go again. Here's the thing. You sort of, after talking about some, do you see some stuff you like here? You know, what about, oh, that looks like man, what about we bring that guy in to block that guy and send that guy out? Or do the same thing up to the field. There's a lot of little opportunities that you have. You see what I'm saying? Now, what we've done is that we've made the sign, they're man-to-man. We're going to go block that guy. We're legal because we're behind the line of scrimmage. And that guy chases, we got a chance. There, we did better than 5 yards, right? That's a successful play. We're happy with that. But that's a little stab. We like that little stab. Now, you just look at it. This could probably be good to the boundary or the field, right? In the box, it's a 6-man box, so we have a pretty good idea we're not going to run. When he's trying to figure out, we're looking for the shortest, safest throw. Shortest, safest throw, we're looking for the easiest 4 yards. Does this make sense? Yeah? Okay. Here we go. We're popping back. When you don't have the numbers, it gives you a chance. This bunch is out of Oklahoma. They're all in red. So, I'm from Oklahoma, I'd say that. I'm retired from Oklahoma. But, you see what we're trying to do there? We're trying to take advantage. We're trying to make them cover everybody. When we make them cover everybody, then we're going to try to punish them. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to be done at 1:30, right? Oh, shoot. Okay. You guys, I want to tell you guys, there's something to be said about you guys. The last speaker on the last day, and I know how it was last night. So I appreciate you guys coming. If you get a chance, drop Keith Grabowski a line, tell him that it was not a waste of your time, and I hope it was not a waste of your time. I love talking about this stuff. This is a lot of fun. We've messed around and done different things out of different formations. It's a lot of fun when you have good quarterbacks. And we've had good quarterbacks. It might not be as much fun this year. No, we'll find out.
Coach, can you go to the third one?
I want to try to get. This is what we call stab. This is what we told you before. They line up. You see 0, so we're going to crack it. So we make a crack sign. We're going to come down and go like that. It is not. That was not necessarily my preference. Let's see if we get to this. Okay. Now, hit straight. Okay, I got 1 minute. I'm going to go though. I'm going to give you 1 minute.